No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen. Peekaboo. It is I, Lukey CK, coming off a winning weekend. Big time winnings, back-to-back weekends in a row. Now clawing our way back into positive territory from our initial $1,000 bankroll investment in year 6. We are coming away from this weekend with about $700 in winnings. That's including a lot of hedges and a lot of voids. Could have been a lot bigger of a night, but on a weird card like that, to come away with almost $1,000 in winnings feels good. You know, it's a card that separated the boys from the men as far as being able to win money. Alex, we got a lot to discuss. How you doing?
Could be better, pretty lackluster card. Some good performances throughout the night, but how can we go on without addressing the elephant in the room?
Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gahn, the main event, guys. We have videos, we have timestamps, I have notes. There's a lot we have to talk about today. So first and foremost, this is an ever-changing and complex situation that we have going on here. I'm taking down notes. I'm documenting what is being said. I'm documenting the reactions to what is being said. I'm writing timestamps. I'm saving videos and setting them to the side because I think there's a lot of confusion right now. And we are being psyoped in many ways as an MMA community. Now, to really understand what happened last Saturday afternoon, you have to go back almost a month. You have to go back and back and back. You have to keep going back. You have to go back even before Charles Oliveira versus Mateus Gamrot, that fight night where Joel Alvarez defeated Vicente Luque. But in doing so, there was controversy with Vicente calling his own foul. You would have to keep going back because we've had just so many weird referee judging, sort of officiating mishaps within the rules and the field of play. We've had so many of these things happen recently that it's left us in kind of a fog of war. And I think there needs to be some specific sifting through of these events to really understand who the bad guys are and who the good guys are and how we're going to move forward, right?
Absolutely.
The number one thing I think that needs to be addressed for me, and Alex, if you have something you want to get to right away, please hop in, but I'm just going to kind of take it from what I think to be a big frag grenade in the soup of confusion that we are dealing with right now, okay? So when this all began to unfold, right, you had sort of like this dichotomy between those willing to boo and castigate blame on Tom and those who were not, or were maybe willing to do so on Surreal, or maybe nobody at all, but just specifically not Tom, right? And I think that's where the true first dividing line began, is like those who believed instantly that Tom was in the right for doing what he did, and those who maybe, and really it's a reaction. It's a gut feeling. So it's not to say either side is wrong, but the dividing line at first is clearly the people who thought, of course, Tom shouldn't continue, and the people who thought, of course, Tom should continue, right? You have those two sides. Now, everything after that dividing line is just fuel to either side's fire, which creates kind of a chain reaction of sorts that was explained in, I think, one of the more recent South Parks, kind of like how things just kind of get out of hand on the internet. But once it gets going, it becomes very hard to corral these ideas. So, for example, Dana White was quoted on the Mac Life on YouTube at the post-fight press conference. It says here, Dana White on Aspinall versus Gahn. Only Tom knows what happened. Okay? I think this is an important piece of the puzzle.
Which is true, because if you really think about it, like Joe Rogan was trying to say Corey Sandhagen's eyes were blurred the other day. And I was very annoyed at that. I have no idea how anybody in their mind can, what is this? 11 from Stranger Things? What is that stuff called, Luke? Remote viewing? Are you remote viewing Corey Sandhagen right now? How do you know his eyes are blurred? So Dana is right. I think a lot's being said about Dana. I didn't think anything he said was too bad at all.
Can I actually pull the video up and cite some evidence here? So let's do this.
Fair use.
Yeah. Okay. So this is straight up commentary. We're just going to. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
You can see what I'm showing.
Yep.
All right, guys. This is me trying to make nice and make everybody get along. Okay.
That's just the way it is. For him to say after 5.
Okay. Here we go.
I can no longer continue.
Okay.
And
ready?
The fighters.
Both. Thank you.
Fight that we do have a no contest for such thing. We just have to go by the judges and the fighters' will. That's just the way it is.
He says we have to just go by the fighters and the judges, or the fighters' will. That's just the way it is. So this is a big. What people need to understand is what Dana White is quoted, because nobody's going to watch this entire 21-minute video, right? When Dana's quoted saying only Tom knows what happened, my first gut reaction after, I finished the pay-per-view, I watch, Chael and Anthony Smith make fools of themselves talking out of their ass. And then I go on YouTube and I see Dana White say only Tom knows what happened. So now I'm thinking in this moment, oh my God, Dana is like accusing Tom of like being
tomfoolery.
Like he's saying like, he's going to have to live with, like, how I read it was like, only Tom knows what happened and he's going to have to live with it. You know what I mean? Like, as if to say, like, hey, we'll never be able to prove that he was. I really did read it like that. That's how I felt Dana was being. But then I watch this video, and you have to realize that that quoted statement comes after this question. This question that, I mean, this guy, if this guy's a journalist in Abu Dhabi, I don't know what to say. I mean, maybe Abu Dhabi is having a journalism crisis if this guy is an actual accredited, and he must be.
Some say they have a huge problem with journalists over there.
Maybe there might be a journalist problem or a problem getting journalists, good ones, to go to the Middle East. There really might be a problem. I don't know what would cause that, but this guy says a question that is first, let's listen.
And the fighters' will. That's just the way it is. For him to say after 5 minutes, I can no longer continue. What I'm trying to figure out is.
So he said first. He says it's just up to the fighter, essentially, right? Paraphrasing, but he basically says so. Like, it's just up to the fighter. Like, we just have to take them at their word. Like, after the 5 minutes are up, if the fighter's will is that they can't continue, then that's just it. And he expected like people to be like, yeah, good question. Dana to be like, great question, sir. Yeah, I agree. These guys should have to fight no matter what, or they should be disqualified themselves for not fighting. Like, he thought he was going to start some kind of thing here, and Dana has just the craziest reaction where he just kind of looks at him like, what? And raises his eyebrows. So then he has to cover his tracks with this bullshit.
Is there a different? Trying to figure out is there different levels of eye pokes? See? Different levels of eye pokes. You see what I'm saying?
Nobody sees what you're saying, sir.
It's only up to the fighter to say whether or not he wants to continue.
Yeah.
That's just.
There we go. So everything that Dana said about only Tom knows what happened, which we'll get to in about 15 seconds, is stemming from that question.
Up to the fighter to stay.
This question.
Nobody sees what you're saying, sir.
Which Dana, because this guy is initially saying, like, he's essentially trying to say, like, what the fuck? Like, Tom just got to quit, and now he keeps his belt. It's a no contest. That's pretty much what he's saying. He's like, okay, so it's just up to the fighter. They should be the ones who, because he's referencing the fact that the doctor said the eyeball looks fine or whatever the doctor said. So in this guy's mind, he's like,
the doctor also said, I'm going to stop talking to him because he's saying things that will make me end this fight.
Right. I
Like,
didn't know that.
that's
Actually.
shady.
I didn't know that. But the reality is, this guy he believes that there should be some other governing body, specifically, I guess, the state, that comes in and determines whether somebody can or cannot fight on after being fouled, outside of the person themselves, right? So it's a very interesting question. And that's being generous. But Dana's response was based on that question first, and second, that guy further clarifying his question to say,
Only up to the fighter to stay whether
Nobody sees what you're saying, sir.
it's only up to the fighter to stay whether or not he wants to continue.
it's only up to the fighter to say whether or not he wants to continue. And Dana says,
Yeah.
That's just the way. It is.
yeah. As if to say, like, of course it's only up to the fighter to say whether or not they can.
Oh, yeah. What am I going to say? Hey, Tom, guess no, you're going to keep fighting.
Cyril tried to tell him or go toward him, and Jason Herzog said, "Don't talk to the opponent at that point." So I guess they were trying to figure out to one another.
You can't, just like.
And that's the weirdest part. Like, that he's like, and he like, Dana sarcastically says that. And this guy goes, I know, right? Like, Cyril tried to tell him that.
Cyril was even trying to help out.
Yeah. He's like, well, Dana, maybe you don't know you want to give Cyril a bonus, because he actually tried to go up to Tom and say you have to keep fighting. Like, I don't know if you know this, but like, it's crazy you say that, because Cyril tried and he was told by Jason Herzog. He's like, he thinks he's ratting out Jason Herzog. Jason Herzog actually told him he wasn't allowed to talk to him. I don't know why he said that. Maybe we could have him, looked into. But
I can't make people fight, right? If I want to put together a fight, I can't make people fight, and you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured. Only Tom knows what happened. Could he see? Couldn't he see? Could he continue? Only he knows that.
I appreciate your answer.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, but what people I think don't realize a lot of the time is like, what people don't realize is like, Dana, okay, we all have grown up with Dana White. I've known Dana White since I was in the 6th grade. I've had a parasocial relationship with Dana since I was in the 6th grade. I feel like I know him, right? We all feel like we know him. So when Ariel Helwani sees that, he's projecting onto that everything he believes about Dana as an archetype, as a figure in his mind, not necessarily like what is actually going on in that moment. Like, Dana's in Abu Dhabi. He's in a room with journalists who are asking him a question. He's all fucked up on time and busyness and doing a job and making sure things go well. And now someone's hitting him with a question and he's just answering it. But you're thinking he's like sending signals and messages within the answer. You know what I mean?
Look at his face while he's answering that question. It's like,
he's dumbfounded.
He's dumbfounded. He's like, yeah, of course, that is the only way to do it. And listen, I can't make anybody fight. Like, only
he's
they know
Meniered out.
Okay.
He's all Meniered out. Meniere's disease. He's all Meniersed out. Dude, like, the guy literally asked him, so it's only up to the fighter to determine whether or not they can or can't continue. And Dana said, yeah, only Tom. Like, the answer was almost as if to say, who else should be able to like make the call? Like, of course.
What are you alluding to? Do you think that somebody else should be answering these questions for Tom? Maybe get them in front of the eye exam instead of Tom, who still can't see after 3 days, for the record.
Yeah. And I mean, and guys, I think, did I say this on the show last week, or did I say this in private with you, that if you watch any other sport, not to say that, like, everything has to be apples to apples equal with these others, oranges and bananas. It doesn't have to be, but I'm just saying that and then I actually want to explore the reason behind that. So the reason that it's okay in the NFL when somebody throws a fucking flag and it turns out to impact the game, and all of a sudden a team wins or loses based on that penalty that is then argued on SportsCenter Monday morning whether or not it was a justified penalty or not. The reason that's fine is because there's a fucking another game next Sunday, okay? And that they're all going to play in again. So my point with saying that is if the UFC is moving towards this model, which they have been since I've become a fan, where they're churning it out and it's like NASCAR and it's just every weekend UFC and every weekend fights and things go on and there's a lot of opportunity for fighters to fight and there's just kind of like this run-in league, that makes it a lot easier for a guy to sorry, for us as fans to digest, hey, there was a ref error. For example, oh man, Dan Murgliata, he messed up and this guy won. Somebody got screwed. It's like better somebody gets screwed by a ref than somebody gets screwed by like them going along with some like expected unwritten code. You know what I mean? And wait, actually, I want to say this. You go ahead, talk, but just know that after you finish talking, I have what I believe to be the answer for eye pokes, groin strikes, and everything else.
Yo, guys, who you got into me?
We'll get there, buddy.
We're
We're still recapping 3-2-1. Good to have you here, Chad. We're recapping UFC 3-2-1. A lot of really important things. This is stuff that Hunter Campbell, the UFC, Dana White should actually pay me for because it is a real problem and I do have real solutions.
Yeah, it's absolute bullshit. The perception of everything going on. People wanted to. You sent me that quote by Dana, and we're all pissed off. But I had listened to the whole entire press conference, and I didn't see anything wrong with what he said whatsoever. Especially re-listening to that question. I mean, half the time these mumble mouth journalists come in there and just spew whatever nonsense. Dana, what's it like being back in Nashville? Wasn't it a great turnout here in Nashville? How nice is Nashville? Like
my favorite place they do fights is Utah, Salt Lake City, because those people, they make it run smooth. I love when they go to Utah. Anyway, continue.
Anywho, you barely even listen to the journalists. You just listen to the answers. And, I listened to it. I thought it was a perfectly reasonable answer. I don't think Dana condemned Tom whatsoever. I don't think that he said anything incorrectly. I think the dialogue going on elsewhere, Terrence McKinney, Aljamain Sterling, Anthony Smith, Chael kind of walked it back on whatchamacallit, Ariel Helwani yesterday. But those three guys, they are some of the worst people ever, in my opinion. Anthony Smith, born quitter, quits in every single fight, talking about how he can't see in Singapore when he didn't get fouled to not be able to see. He got his fucking skull bashed in by Ryan Spann. Yeah. And then you got Aljamain Sterling, the Oscar winner himself, sitting here and questioning Tom's integrity when everybody says you were acting on that one thing and you kind of play into it and make jokes. So is that what you did? Is that why you're bringing it up in that fashion? Oh, Tom definitely did it because I was in that scenario once, and it's an easy decision to make. Makes no sense. Tom still can't see today. Andy Aspinall came out talking about it. One of his eyes is fully gray. He said he can't see out of it, and then the other one's at 50% of what it was for the pre-fight screening eye exam that they do beforehand that Michael Bisping cheated on. I mean, who knows how hard that one is in the first place, but maybe the one at his optometrist is a little bit harder than the one that the UFC doctors are making you do beforehand.
Yeah, it's almost like Anthony Smith doesn't know that he is known. And by the way, I had nothing to do with this, right? At the end of the day, I decided I don't like Anthony Smith, and I believe this thing about Anthony Smith with a tongue-in-cheek. And then all of a sudden, it gets proven more and more true. Something that I was kind of in jest about at first really actually took on a life of its own. Similar to the Ian Gary, Layla Gary thing. I mean, it's almost like I am the X factor here, which I'm fine being. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, everything I kind of point my attention to blossoms and blooms with novelty. And yeah, Anthony is now known across the internet as curl up in a ball. I mean, the MMA Guru said on Mighty Mousecast, he said, yo, he looks like an armadillo. And other people making videos. I mean, guys, I'll show you one right now. It says, fuck it, Anthony Smith fetal position highlights. And it's just a YouTube for this is not me. I didn't do this, but I did, I guess, in a way, point this out. But yo, so here's the thing. the way that you solve fouls in the UFC is by doing what I would call the mutually assured destruction principle. Okay. Now, this is not going to come from any individual outcome. This is going to come from the inconvenience that we are going to tie these guys in if they foul each other. Okay. So here's my point. If you get fouled and what we must do is we have to lower the threshold for points being taken away and eliminate not eliminate, but almost entirely eliminate the intent factor, okay? So rather than having to try to prove that it was intentional, we will go into every foul assuming that it was the fouler's fault on the foulee, okay? After we do that, we will allow two
and that's another thing, Luke, with the intention, like, what do they need to find a fucking letter at Cyril Gahn's house to like, I will poke him in the eye in the first round.
Cyril's furry boyfriend. We read Cyril's furry boyfriend's text, and Cyril said to his furry boyfriend, "My love, I will poke him in the eye
for you."
No, listen, seriously, and then I will French kiss you. Okay, no. Okay, listen. Guys, this will work. Clip this, get this to Dana White, Hunter Campbell, Mick Maynard, and the guy Andy Foster. Get it to all the people, okay? Here's what we need to do. It's called the mutually assured destruction concept, right? It must be mutually assured destruction if the fighters decide to foul each other. What I mean by that is if the foul isn't that big a deal, we can't just make every foul a point deduction, intentional, and disqualifiable. Because if we do that, then a fighter can just get fouled and then get them disqualified. We can't have that, okay? So we have to look at the foul at first as, guilty until proven innocent. If you foul somebody, it's 8 or 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to lose a point, okay? But the second two pieces of criteria that will determine whether or not that happens is severity, which is hard to determine because a fighter could fake it, okay? If the only thing that determines severity is how long it took them to return to action, every fighter will take the requisite 5 minutes. That will be one of the worst things we can have happen. Fuck losing eyes and the wrong people winning. The worst thing the UFC can have, the UFC who makes most of their money off of licensing deals to stream their broadcasts, in those deals determining, hey, it'll go on for this amount of time, so you can put content before and after it confidently, knowing it'll go on for this amount of time. All of a sudden, you throw a 5-minute break and a couple fights a night, you're fucking things up, man. You're fucking all sorts of things up. So we can't have all these fighters being like, I'm going to take the requisite 5 minutes so that they take a point away. It's not about that. It's about the severity and the impact of the blow, right? Hard to determine. So the second piece of criteria is going to be whether or not, like, okay, so you foul somebody, we're like, yo, we're taking a point away for this, unless it's like not that big a deal, right?
No.
The reason that a fighter wouldn't make it a big deal is because if they start making it a big deal, we bring the doctor in, and the doctor is going to go, cool, no contest or disqualify, but what we'll do then is we run it back. We always run it back. So the reason that if you kind of get poked a little bit and it doesn't work, it's like, it just isn't worth it to have to like run it back with this same guy. Like you wouldn't want to like take that win because then you have to fight him again. You know what I mean? So it's like there has to be something pushing against the idea that a fighter would not continue. Or the idea
that is already common practice.
Yeah.
But it's bullshit. Anthony Smith is a moron. He is a complete fool, jackass. His biggest Lionheart moment, all it did for him was get him a desk job for the rest of his fucking life, and sit there and just spew whatever nonsense he wants. He's the worst. He looks like an orc. I would never hang out with Anthony Smith. Play that.
Is that Tom Aspinall was in a fight that was harder than he thought it was going to be, like Chael historically talks about, and look for a way out.
And the funny thing is, these aren't
I wish
even
they showed him getting up and flipping off the guy in the crowd and trying to attack him right after that one.
these aren't even all of them. Like this video is not even exhaustive of every time. I mean, I think we should take a moment and actually really go through and like look through Anthony Smith's Tapology real quick, because at the end of the day, he's curled up in a ball. Like, yeah, he's got that one. Hey, by the way, the John Jones knee to the grounded opponent, that was because he was curling up in a ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like John Jones like went out of his way to do it. You were going out of your way to curl into a fucking ball, and the knee wasn't even that bad.
No,
It was not as bad as the Aljo Yan knee, which wasn't even that bad either. You know what I mean? Like, they both are pussy knees to the head. They are, you know how you know if a knee to the head is a good solid knee to the head? You go the fuck out. You get knocked out cold. You have brain damage. You go out cold. A knee to the head that doesn't knock you out isn't that hard of a knee to the head by the very nature of a knee to the head. Now,
yeah,
Aljo, Aljo will be like, "Oh, my neck was already hurt going into the fight, so when I got kneed, it caused my neck. It was a whole neck thing." Convenient.
I didn't know he said that, but I thought that the Aljo knee was pretty bad. He was like on his knees, and Peter Yan lifted him off of his knees with a knee to the head. So like,
and the saddest part is Anthony Smith can say, 25 UFC fights, one more than I lost. Yeah, 13-12. You won more than you lost, you fucking idiot. Like, look at this. Okay, so he curled up into a ball and lost to Thiago Santos, John Jones. And by the way, in between his two losses there were 3 wins. You know who they were against? They were against Rashad Evans and Shogun Rua. He got moved up a weight class to bully old aging octogenarian fighters that shouldn't have been in there in the first place. Then Glover gives him 4, thank God, breaks his teeth.
On behalf of Rashad and Shogun.
Yeah. And then he beats Devin Clark, who stinks. Jimmy Crute, which, by the way, Jimmy Crute was going to still beat him. Like, Jimmy Crute still wanted to fight. The fucking crab in a bucket doctor in New York stopped it for no reason. Ryan Spann stinks. Then Ankalaev whoops him, Walker whoops him, Glover whoops him, Spann again stinks. Khalil Roundtree, the Vitor Petrino situation happens, luckiest day of his life. And then, 3 losses in a row. So the point is, curl up in a ball all the time. Face for radio shouldn't be. Guys, I plead with the UFC. Can we please refresh these people on the desk? I mean, I would get rid of Chael, who I love sometimes, to get rid of Smith, Chiesa. These guys are terrible, dude. We need to get them out of here.
They have jobs is because they've done the UFC a favor in Anthony Smith not ruining John Jones's legacy with another DQ, and Chiesa
that might be what with the Dolly.
Chiesa didn't sue the UFC or Conor McGregor for the Dolly incident.
Hey, I think he did though. I'm pretty sure he did though. Hold on. Did Chiesa sue McGregor?
Well, he didn't sue the UFC for letting it happen, I'd imagine.
Okay, so yeah, he settled.
Okay.
Conor McGregor, yeah, they settled. So yeah, exactly. Like, I guess they agree to end the lawsuit. Yeah, so I get what you're saying. And yeah, those reasons might be why those guys got the job, but it shouldn't be why they get to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? McGregor has wronged 45 people since he wronged them. If we're just giving, you know what I mean? If we're just giving people fucking jobs based on who got wrong, John Jones allegedly has done so many more things since, like, let's be real. Since he did what he did to Anthony Smith, which is what apparently is keeping him on the fucking desk, I guess, this night happened.
And I think when I come back as a heavyweight, I'll try to do more legally controversial shit.
The Hall of Fame night happened since then. So if we're giving people jobs based on who has been wronged by John Jones or Conor McGregor, get in line.
No problem, mate, yeah? No fucking problem.
Yeah, it's insane. Did you see Dustin Poirier's comments?
But McGregor has been saved. And John...
Yes. And I think it was a fair trade, Luke. I think it was a trade. I think it was Connor trading Dustin Poirier's sobriety, because if you saw that video of him talking about the Tom Aspinall situation, he looked like he was ambient out on a plane, just absolutely spitting nonsense. None of it made any sense whatsoever. He's like, only Tom knows. Only Tom knows. I've got poking in the eye before. I've never stopped a fight, but only Tom knows how bad that was. And he like sounds like he's like words are slurring. He looks like he's on a plane. Like it's insane. Yeah, you got to see it for sure if you haven't. But shout out to Dustin Poirier, man. The only thing that I can say about Anthony Smith is I hope he comes out of retirement. And that's all I want to see is Anthony Smith back in the octagon. One of my favorite fighters. Would love to see him lace him up again, strap in, and try to get go out on a win. That would be my favorite thing in the world if Anthony Smith kept fighting until he got a win. He's a blind squirrel. He found a nut a few times, but I don't know. The more days that pass, I don't think that's happening. But I do want to see him return to glory. On paper, he could probably beat Alex Pierre. We should run that right quick, and then everything will be good. I hope that Anthony Smith has to pull a James Krause in one of these fights where he's just like working either like the guy's trainer or he's working the desk, and they say, Anthony Smith, we need a 205 pounder. Uncle I have just pulled out. Alex Pierre needs an opponent. And he says, well, I'll be, and gets right in there.
Like truly my life when it comes to being a fan of the UFC feels like watching a movie where the bad guy wins. Like I'm watching Jelly Roll and Anthony Smith. And I don't know if this actually happened or if I'm just kind of like mixing my nightmares with reality at this point.
Brother.
But as I remember it, the UFC had Jelly Roll in the octagon and he said, Anthony, we have something special prepared for you tonight. Look up at that screen, brother, because you did all that. And then Anthony and him, like, they looked up together, and then they showed this, like, roll of, like, jelly. And then, like, I can't believe that not only, like, people would say, oh, Luke, you want Anthony to lose his job on the commentary desk? Yes, but I want him to keep his job in the octagon. I want him to fight 10 more times.
Yes.
This is why it's not working. Normally, if you hate a guy, you go, man, I hate Aaron Rodgers. Can't wait till he retires, is out of the league. And then he goes away. And he chops logs in the fucking wilderness. You know what I mean?
And hides from the hat man.
With the Slender Man and the man with the black hat. You know what I mean? He's out there. He's just like chopping the wood. But in my life, I hate guys in the sport I like. And then Ari Emanuel goes, yeah, no, they should still exist and be in your face, even though they look like fucking Sloth from the Goonies. They should be in your face talking to you, even though they have the IQ of Forrest Gump. And they're talking to you. They have tattoos like they're in the Azov battalion in the Ukraine. And they're out here talking to you with their bald head in their face for radio. They're talking to you about like strategy. They went 13-12 in the UFC, and they're talking strategy.
Strategy and how much heart people have when their special move is.
This ain't baseball. Plus 500 ain't good odds. That ain't a good batting average. Okay, that's like if everybody's special, nobody is kind of shit. So, Ari Emanuel, I'm challenging you to fire Anthony Smith, Paul Felder, and Michael Chiesa. I'm challenging you to make your product better and have better fucking examples of what this sport is all about than three guys who are just disingenuous. I'm sorry. They're disingenuous, and they're annoying, and they're dim-witted and ugly. You know what I mean? Ugly, dim-witted, annoying, fiery, combative. Like what more do you want me to say?
Yeah, it's
silly. The bad fighters, boring. Paul Felder, maybe not boring, but boring in the sense that like I don't love watching guys just. I like dynasties. I like Anderson Silva. I like guys, going out displaying the ability to defend themselves. If every fight you come out of, you look like you got in a fucking car accident, maybe you're not that good at fighting. Like anybody can take a beating over the course of 15 minutes.
At least DC.
Sorry, not anybody, but I just mean it doesn't mean you're a good fighter just because you got through it.
I think DC is the only champion that is on the desk, except for Michael Bisping and Dominic Cruz. Those are the only champs. Everybody else is just nobodies, do nothings, terrible.
And honestly, and they've gotten
Alan
enough out of
Joban,
it.
at
They've
least
gotten
Alan
enough
Joban's
out of
a
it.
handsome
If
guy.
they haven't bought fucking Bitcoin by now, then I don't care. There's no more time for charity. I don't even want them paying Chuck Liddell a dime. They've given him enough. Like, I'm sick of these guys being permanently on the fucking tee. Like, remember when Dana White gave Chuck that job, paying him $1 million a year? It's like, the problem is that these guys don't ever fucking know when enough is enough. Like, people need to. Why am I out here like, yo, I need to save something for retirement? Like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and no one's giving me $2 million a year. Like, put the fucking money away, buy some Bitcoin and chill for a little bit, dude.
And you go to work
you know what I mean?
every day, right? Like these
That's what I'm
guys
saying.
show up.
I don't feel
twice a
bad for
year.
these guys. I don't fucking feel bad for these guys. Fucking get a job. I don't give a fuck. You're not good at the one they gave you, and they gave it to you for fucking nefarious reasons.
And when you look into it, they all hand you checks. Bing, 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 bing.
Neil Magny matters.
We need to.
When it comes to the wrestling, when it comes to them getting in the wrestling ring, there's nothing up there. They're all oatmeal north of the eyebrows. They're all, we Tina for brains. You know what I mean?
That all made sense to me if you think about it. I was talking about. I said. Neil Magny matters. They all hand you checks, because Neil Magny is the next one. They're gonna have. Trust me when I say Neil Magny will replace Alan Juban or not Alan Juban, Din Thomas or somebody. I mean, like they will get the
Probably
most
Angela Hill. Nobody would notice.
They could slot Neil Magny in on Angela Hill's chair any day of the week, and people will be like,
no one would even notice.
That's crazy. It's crazy work. But
yeah. No, it's horrible. At least Neil Magny is pretty good. Like Neil
Angela
Magny
Hill's pretty good. How about that? Like I'd rather hear Angie Hill and Laura Sanko than Paul Felder any day of the week. Or
Sanko.
And honestly, Paul Felder's catching some strays here, but it's just because he can't control his temper. And no other reason. You know what I mean? You can't have him, John Gooden, Michael Bisping. These guys are all just like they're too fiery. Like we need to cool them down, replace Paul. I think that we got to get Paul Felder out, get Dan Hellcat Helly, get him in the mix more, I think. Get Laura Sanko in the mix more. All of the weigh-ins show people except, Weidman. We got to get Weidman out of here.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
The only thing saving Weidman was Joe Selecki returning my text. He doesn't return my text anymore. Weidman is under the jail now. He's under the jail as far as this show goes. So, Chris Weidman, add him to the list. Public enemy number 3. Chris Weirdman. He's right between Whitaker and Wonderboy.
Yeah, man. It's terrible. The State of the Union is not so good. No idea what's going on.
It's a fog of war. Like never
I mean, everybody on the internet is like kind of calling for Tom's head too, but like I really don't see it. I don't think he was faking. I don't think Cyril Gane necessarily meant to do it on purpose, but he did it like 4 or 5 times already in the fight, like trying to push away from the takedown, and he double tapped him in both eyes. Like he really hit him with the fucking 3 Stooges. Like Tom needs to work on that defense a little bit. Apparently he's never seen the show.
I mean, it is annoying. You know what I mean? It's like
it is so annoying and it's frustrating. Like I spent $80 to not get the fucking payoff of waiting 15 months.
You should write an email and you should get your refund. But let me just say this real quick, okay?
Go on.
No, I forgot. Dude, sorry. I have the flu, guys. I'm fucking sorry. I'm not feeling good.
All right. Well,
I just okay. Real quick, before we break down next week's card, just for posterity, the reasons that I didn't win more money were to do with Jacqueline Amorum, who stinks, Azat Maxim, who stinks. Hamdi not winning by knockout. Hamdi Abdel Wahab, who not only stinks but is cut from the UFC. Hilarious. Then the other reasons that I didn't win money are around Park not beating whatever his name is, but the Iron Turtle can do no wrong. I love that man. He's
Did you see
fine.
Walter Volker broke his leg in that fight? His own?
No.
Before he tapped him with the leg lock, he checked a leg kick weird and broke his shin or some shit like that. So he really needed that submission.
Dude, he's doing that voodoo. He's wearing the ankle around his necklace and harnessing mana. And, you know, he's just got like so much leg breaking juju around him that it's ending up breaking his own leg. You know, things backfire. There's a quote, you know,
when you hold a fiery coal and you try to throw it at somebody else, you only end up burning your hand.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah. It says men, especially men of high intelligence or whatever. Oh, shit. What the fuck was that? Dude, you got to talk while I'm not talking.
Well, you start talking and then fucking...
Okay, sorry. The quote. I'm trying to use the fucking Google AI to find this quote for everybody. Okay. Neville Goddard, he said, you know, most when... It was like... Oh, all imaginative men and women are forever casting forth enchantments, intentionally or unintentionally. So the point about that is, like, he's out here, like, claiming all these legs. You know, the legs will be claimed, and he's unintentionally casting enchantments, breaks his own leg, you know?
Deep. Yeah. I mean, I loved seeing NASCAR Hapkaras getting knocked the fuck out, and you know, wanted him to get up a little sooner, but he looked like a dead body in there for quite some time. Quinlan South is a beast.
Yeah, the reason my night was profitable was largely due to Quinlan Soukhild winning by finish. $100 bet paid $430. Then I had a parlay. So FanDuel, who I pretty much exclusively bet with, I bet with DraftKings sometimes, but mostly FanDuel. They've given me $1,500 in free bets over the month of October. I had $500 in free bets. I put a $125 free bet on Gone by Knockout to pay $625. I put a $275 free bet on Wood, Nurmagomedov, and Dern, 3-leg parlay to win $918.24. And I put a $100 cash bet on Umar by points, Mackenzie Dern, and Tom Aspinall by submission to pay $1,300-ish. So when Tom didn't win by submission, that ended up paying like $322 because Tom by sub was like plus 300. So it was like, you know, a third of the 1,300-ish, you know, excuse me. And then Dern winning paid me, you know, $900, and then Gone not winning by knockout, but instead it was no contest. They actually refunded me the $125 free bet I put on that. So I got to throw that on a football parlay that the 49ers blew for me. And then, yeah, other than that, you know, I hedged a little bit on Verna because let me just say this. I did not think that Mackenzie was winning that fight as easily as everybody else did. You know, the line was moving, my cash out was growing, but I was sitting there like, dude, this isn't a close fight. This is an unimpressive fight. These girls are fucking both dumb as hell. I mean, Mackenzie like just has this vacant stare on her face when she's in there, like when she's on the corner. You know what I mean? It feels like when your wife's like looking at her phone on Instagram and you're telling her a story, and then you go like, "Did you hear what I just said?" And she's like, "Yeah," and you're like, "No, you didn't. I know you didn't." You know, and that's how like Mackenzie looks when Perillo is talking to her. And I mean, Perillo has been saying the same thing to her every fight for the last 15 fights. He's like, "Mackenzie, you know, just touch her. Stop swinging so wildly. Keep your head down, your chin down, tucked, and keep your punches straight, and just touch her. And every time she throws one, throw two, because you're letting her kind of snake charm you to death with this, you know, kind of pace. You're letting her kind of steal these rounds and stall because you're not throwing enough volume. So you got to throw some more volume." And she just is like, and she does a great round one, and then she kind of falls away from it and just kind of like starts doing Ronda Rousey shit, you know? So she did not make me feel confident. I wish I didn't have to hedge as much as I did on Verna, but I had to do it for my own peace of mind. I did that. No worries. I still came out of the weekend profitable, and who gives a fuck? But yeah, I mean, ultimately, people need to do their job, and Alexander Rakic would have won a lot more if he won too. I mean, I'm telling you, you know, like I had a parlay $80 to pay $742. Ludovic Klein, Quinlan Southkill, Alexander Rakic, Mackenzie Dern. So that one would have fucking hit. I had a $50 free bet. Or sorry, no, that one wouldn't have won. But yeah, so I would have won another $742 if Rakic won.
Yeah, Rakic, you know,
Dumbass.
terrible. Sunk all ships for me. Very disappointed. If he were to have won, I would have won quite a bit of money on a Nathaniel Wood by decision, Rakic by decision, and Cyril Gane by knockout. And then I think I had another one with homeboy on it, the Mr. Highlight.
Yeah.
By decision.
Dude, the only thing is I had to go to I was at a fall festival with my family all day, and I watched Wood versus Delgado. I watched Walter Volker get his submission.
Walter Volker by sub was on that as well. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But other than that, the first fight that I watched was Aleskarov versus Park, and then I saw every fight from then on. But I missed Ludovic Klein versus Mateus Rebecca. I heard it was a great fight.
Yeah, it was.
I was happy to have missed Amorum, Maxim, Barnett, Hamdi. I was happy to miss all that. Yeah. I saw Wood versus Delgado. I saw Walter Volker, and then I was like getting the kids in the car and driving home. So I missed Rebecca versus Klein, but I heard it was an amazing fight.
Yeah, it was an awesome fight. Ludovic Klein kind of hurt his leg in the third round, so it kind of made it look like Rebecca could have probably finished it, but he ended up surviving and winning a majority decision.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty hot right now. I mean, I have one on, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, UFC last Saturday, UFC this Saturday. Just got a little too reckless with like baseball bets and like some random shit that I decided to do with NASCAR and with NFL. I came really close with a couple NFL plays. Like I had my boy Metcalf to get a touchdown, but I parlayed it with the Steelers to win. You know what I mean? It would have been like a big payout there. They fucking didn't win. They even watched the game. The thing is, I'm betting and not watching shit right now. Like it's crazy. But I'm also
up early too. It looked like they had a chance.
Back-to-back weekends where I've won a lot on UFC and then lost it on bullshit. You know what I mean? Or not lost all of it, but just like lost a big chunk of it betting NASCAR, betting fucking NFL, betting like World Series baseball. Like I had the over 8 that hit last night, but I parlayed it with Dodgers by 2. They won by 1. I mean, I don't know. I thought it would.
I kept waking up during that game last night, and it would still be going. I'm like, this has to be highlights. And then I'd like put my glasses on, see that they were in the 16th inning, and fall back asleep. Wake up again, they're still playing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? They played 18 innings.
And by the way, like, yeah. Anyway, so. We go forward, we bet on UFC, and that's that. And I'm done betting on anything else.
All right. Well, good opportunity to start you off with, slobber knocker of the night, Talentina Alencar versus Ariane Carolosi. I'm going with the problem child here. Tatia Alencar, she probably sees Bia Mosquito, one of her rivals in the jiu-jitsu scene, doing well. That'll fire a woman up. She's going to go out there. She's going to beat Carnelossi by submission.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm going with fucking Alencar as well. Although she is 35, 3 years older than Carnelossi, she is going to have a 3-inch reach disadvantage. I do feel Carnelossi, obviously, if you look at her, is the one who is taking, you look at her chin. She looks like the fucking Crimson Chin. She's got literally like a changed, shapened face as a result of whatever the fuck she's eating. And then, Alencar, looks to have, a very feminine chin. And I just sometimes I look at the chin, I go, this chick, her chin looks like an Easter Island head. This chick looks like, I don't know. I mean, I'm going with Carnelossi plus 200. I'm going with Carnelossi. It's funny because I Alex, I'm off the Zins, and her last name is Alan Carr, David Alan Carr, author of Easy Way to Quit Nicotine, Quit Smoking. So I should pick her as the signs. But no, I'm picking Carnelossi.
You're gonna
I'm picking
relapse.
Carnelossi, Alex. You know why I'm picking Carnelossi? Because these fucking fights don't make any sense.
Because you're gonna relapse before the fights, and you wouldn't feel right picking Alan Carr, and Alan Carr is gonna end up winning.
You son of a bitch! You fucking. Son of a bitch. I'm not gonna relapse before the fights, and that's fucked up that you say it.
All right. Well, next up we got Philly Rowe, the Fresh Prince, versus Siok Hayokun.
I would quite literally hold you down and skin you alive to relapse on the Zinnies. And so the fact that you said that, I'm not going to, but I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you when I'm in the peak of wanting a Zimbabwe, and I'm going to be like, I'm just going to give you an ear beat, and I'm going to motherfuck you over the phone and just tell you everything I hate about you. I'm going to channel all my anger towards you. I'm going to call you and be like, you're just a bitch and a bum, and I hate you, and I'm going to kick your ass when I see you. I'm just going to cuss you out the whole time.
Fair enough. Who do you have in Phil Rowe versus Siok Hayonko?
Phil Rowe.
I think Phil Rowe too, coming in an underdog.
He's a dumbass, though. You know what I mean?
He is dumb, but the Korean Mike Tyson, like what? Yeah, he beat Oban Elliott, which is an impressive victory. That is, I think Oban Elliott's pretty decent. But
talking, I can hear you, but just keep it on.
Okay, but you got a lot of questions about Oban Elliott, especially after that last performance. He looked flat in that last performance. I thought he did pretty decent, but not enough to get the nod. I'm going with Phil Rowe. I think Phil Rowe is a crafty vet. I think he's going to be able to get this fight to the ground. I think he's going to be able to get the sub. I think 2 subs in a row, start off the card hot, and then we're going to get into a very, very, very boring fight after this Phil Rowe fight. But yeah, I think Phil Rowe by sub.
I got you something. It's a trick or trade Pokemon pack.
Beautiful.
Whatever I open up is all yours. So let's rip it back. Let's rip it back for the people. Because I need to. I'm a bit of a dopamine rat, so without the Zins, I need to open Pokemons pretty much every hour. Oh, good one! Oh, you're gonna be so pleased.
Oh, wow.
You got a Gengar Hollow. You got a Gengar Hollow and a Haunter. So all you need is a Ghastly, and you got the whole set. You got Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar, and got all of them. And by the way, I got plenty of Ghastlies. I'll give you a Ghastly to complete your set. So you have a complete set here. Oh, by the way, you should come visit soon, because there's a Pokemon card show.
Okay.
For a $10 admission fee, we're gonna bring the kids. We're gonna go and it's and also you can bring our cards, and maybe we can see about consolidation. Like we trade all the cards we have in for like one PSA 10 something. We get all the value into one thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I mean, I'm not really looking to do that, to be honest with you, but I did tell Brooke she and her brother should do that. I told my wife, I was like, you guys should just get something easier to store and carry, like trade everything in for like one card.
That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. I'll definitely have to bring your daughter some of my bulk too.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're both on Phil Rowe.
Lil C Wagers, thanks a lot. Will survives. Thanks for the show, boys. Congrats on kicking the neck week. Listen, we are not through the woods yet, my brother. Okay, don't put that on me. Like no, we are kicking it. We are kicking it hard. We're through the hardest part, right? I'm at the stage now where it feels like I'm constantly looking at bright lights, even though I'm not. So that's why I get the sunglasses on. We're getting through it. We're drying out. We got 30 days in the hole. 30 days of just absolute dedication to the Lord our God, Jesus Christ, and moving forward to win bets. We're going to do a fast. Guys, leading up to Thanksgiving, we're going to fast for like 50 days. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do like a 50-day fast between now and Thanksgiving. And we got daylight savings time. Who's ready for an extra hour of sleep?
I am.
Me too. So Yeah. Anyway, we got more fights to break down. I think Phil Rowe is a dumbass. But I think that sometimes these Korean fighters, they come in and because they have to do that mandatory military service for 3 years, they're kind of like, okay, I have to do this. So they're like kind of told what to do a lot. And then they come into the UFC and sometimes they do really well, but sometimes they're like, shit. What I was trying to say is the mandatory military service takes time away from the training.
Fair enough. That makes sense to me.
So even though it seems like, yeah, he's younger than Phil Rowe by 3 years, he had to do 3 years in the military.
Fair enough.
Took it away from his career. Okay, hold on. This guy, Tyler Beachcox, says, I wish Obama was president. He gives free stuff to help your addiction. You got porn addiction. He gives you a phone. I bet addicts could have gotten Obama free gambling money. EBT, dude. I'm pretty much on the EBT of free gambling money just by being a FanDuel customer. They give me like fucking so much free money. I am on the FanDuel welfare program where they just give me free bets all the time. And I'm like, do they know I will keep coming back even if they don't give me the free bets? Because I am in a men's league. I'm not addicted to gambling. I'm in a men's league. Many men are in men's leagues. So it's like you got guys who play video games, you got guys who play softball, guys who play flag football, you got guys who play pickup basketball at the park. How about fantasy football? Oh, I'm sorry. Does your husband play fantasy football? Does he spend lots of money going to an Airbnb with his buddies to do a draft? Does he then put in a cash prize into the pool? Does he then spend all this time on his lineup and doing stuff? Yeah. And then does he have to go fucking get a brand or go to IHOP for 25 hours when he loses the league? Like, that's a men's league. I'm in a men's league too.
Fair enough. To each their own. Yeah, everybody has their hobbies.
Yeah, he's saying, I have an addiction. Government give me assistance money to help my addiction. Hey,
Terrell.
It's a sick world we live in, Tyrell. Beachcock. Sick fucking world, you know? And I hate to break it to you, but they want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers, my friend. Okay, so if you think anything different, then
newsflash. All right. Well, next up we got Montserrat.
Pretty good.
Montserrat Conejo Ruiz versus Alice Ardeline.
Is anyone else so upset that we literally last pay-per-view card we saw a 5-round women's main event, right? Because the main event was a no contest. It never happened. So the main event of UFC 321 was if I'm Mackenzie Dern, I'm calling. I go, so when do I get my more money? Because I was actually the main event.
Where's my pay-per-view points?
So the main event was Aspinall versus Gunn. That was a no contest, meaning no contest occurred. Void, meaning pay me both of their win bonuses. Like Mackenzie, you sound different. I've grown very sneaky over the past 24 hours. I sound like Cat Burglar.
The only person more excited about Mackenzie Dern winning her belt is her, ex-husband. In all reality, he knows he's getting even more welfare checks. Tom said he can't see. Still, he may never fight again. Yeah, that it's crazy, Terrell. It's crazy. After 3 days, still can't see. We kind of dove into that quite a bit in the top half of the episode there. But yeah, it's insane. One of his eyes isn't working, and the other eye is only working 50%.
Now, if you guys, so I watched. Go to Tom Aspinall's YouTube channel. There's a video what really happened to Tom Aspinall at UFC 321. Let me just say this, man. Did you watch that one, Alex?
I think I watched most of it.
Bro, goosebumps. Like, it was a little boring at the beginning, but like there's so much in this video that you guys have to study. So, for example, just the overall, all right, like I have so much to fucking say. It's crazy. Like, okay, if I were to tell you guys, like, if you were to say, Luke, what do you hate about Anthony Smith? And I were to like compare it to, it would be like if I showed you a picture of a vending machine in a recreation room of an arcade at a ski resort on a mountain. And you said, Anthony Smith, what do you hate about him? And I showed you a picture. I said, look at this vending machine inside this ski resort. And you'd be like, I'm like, this is all I have time to tell you, but do you see this? And you'd be like, yeah, I see that, but what's that have to do with anything? I'm like, okay, this is one vending machine in the arcade of the ski resort, which is on the mountain, which extends for miles. So for me to explain the mountain, it would be like me showing you a vending machine inside the resort that's on the mountain and saying, this is the mountain. And you'd be like, well, that's not. I'd be like, well, it's on the mountain. It's a part of the mountain. And you'd be like, yeah, but it doesn't really explain what the mountain is. I'm like, yeah, I know it doesn't explain what the mountain is because the mountain has, there's woodland creatures that have habitat on the mountain. There's different species of trees on the mountain. There's different patterns of snowfall on the mountain. There's different terrain and different altitude and all sorts of different things on this mountain. So for me to take the time to explain all of that, I could spend an hour just explaining the vending machine in the fucking rec room of the ski resort that happens to be on the mountain. We could talk about that for an hour. So let's just not even get into the whole mountain. But the reality is, if you watch that video, you see not only the vibes, which were bad. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The vibes were actually neutral. They were like 5 out of 10 vibes for Tom, his dad, his team, them being in Abu Dhabi. I know they love the fight in Abu Dhabi because you don't have to pay any income tax in Abu Dhabi, and you have to pay so much income tax in the UK that it makes a lot of sense to fight in a place where you don't also have to pay income tax. But when it comes to Tom and his dad and the vibes, I mean, it just felt kind of like they were waiting around to go to a funeral. It really did. And then he went in there and he got his nose busted up. And I will say this, if you had told, I kind of started to think, there's a reason I put $125 free bet on Cyril Gane to win by knockout. There's a reason I put $125 free bet on Cyril Gane to win by knockout. There's a reason I did that. Because I thought it could happen. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't less convinced that it could happen right before the eye poke. But what I will say is there are videos out there that show that Cyril Gane was constantly going for the eyes. And
at least now we know. At least now we know
it's on purpose.
At least now we know we have the answer, what it would take to get fingered by a fighter. And we know exactly how John Jones would have, dispatched of Tom Aspinall. John Jones is the biggest eye poker in the entire world, and he might even put a finger somewhere else. When John Jones is around, fingers can end up going anywhere. So we know how that fight would have played out. It is what it is. We can't change the past. We wish we could. They're going to run it back. Who the fuck cares? I hope Tom can see again. I hope he can fight again.
Bro.
Now, can we get into the people's main event of the decade, Montserrat Conejo Ruiz versus Alice Ardelin?
Yeah. It's Montserrat Conejo Ruiz, I guess. I mean, this girl's 10-7. They had her as a minus 420 favorite. I don't get it, except for the fact that her opponent got knocked out. In her last 3 fights, her opponent's been knocked out in every one of them. I mean, you want to bet on the girl with 7 losses or the girl who's lost 3 times in a row?
She's taken some time off. She's certainly taken some time off.
She's taken time off between each one of them, Alex. She got knocked out 4 years, 3 months ago, then took 2 years off, got knocked out again. Then
she's small for the division. People see how Alice Ardelin did in her last fight. She did pretty well against Renee Dos Santos. That was her first win in the UFC, though. She lost to Super Mel, who has similar dimensions as Montserrat Conejo.
I'll tell you what, I'm putting like $250 on Ruiz to win. Like at plus, if she is truly plus 300, let me see, what is this? If she's plus 310, I promise you, I will be betting enough to win $1,000 if she wins. Like 3-1, I'll put $333 on her. And guess what? I hope she does lose. But listen. I'm just saying, like, this is bullshit. Right. Like, her opponent sucks. Alice Ardelin sucks.
Yes.
She's got 7 fucking losses.
Alice Ardelin sucks, and she also is OnlyFans now. So we always not like to fade the UFC fighters who are on OnlyFans. They have too many sources of income. it's hard to go running, in silk sheets, but it's also hard when you're taking pictures of your feet. Okay, so you got to take that into consideration here. I wouldn't trust Alice Ardeline with 100 of my dollars, let alone minus 420 of them to even get 100 in return. So give me Montserrat Ruiz. I don't give a shit if she's undersized. I don't give a shit if she has a good chance of losing this fight. There's no way I'm paying a minus 420.
Yo, let's go band for band. I'll put whatever you want to put on Alice Ardeline. I'll put on Montserrat Conejo Ruiz.
I'm not putting anything on Alice Ardeline.
No, not you. I'm saying the supporters of Alice Ardeline.
Yeah.
And let me say this. The reality is that the answer for eye pokes in the UFC, if not the mutually assured destruction concept that I had, is goggles.
Yeah, but getting punched in the face with some swimming goggles would really hurt.
I don't care. I hope it hurts. I hope it hurts worse. I hope it hurts worse for them. But here's what I'm going to say. You're telling me we can't design dude, seriously, UFC is $1 billion company. We can't, even if you just had sunglasses, it would help. But I'm talking, let's design.
Dude, what happened when you got hit in the face with a tomato while wearing sunglasses?
That's way different. But what if we did like a silicone gel swimmer's goggle that so gently kind of hugged the skin and was designed almost like a cup. So it not only prevented you from getting
that is a good idea,
but almost kind of and made you look cool, like a cyborg or a Terminator. Like you could have different. And how about this, Alex? Here's the fucking key. It's optional. You can choose to wear them if you fucking want to or not, but don't come crying to us if you get poked in the eyes and you decided not to wear them.
I like that. And it should be like the skydiving goggles. That's just like
a
piece of saran wrap over the thing or plastic.
Exactly. And this is what I was saying. Like, fuck, dude. I should call Hunter Campbell right now. Let's see. Do I still have Hunter Campbell's number?
You should. If not, just hop on Zoom Info again.
I will. Can you give me Hunter Campbell's number before the end of the show? I need to
I don't have Zoom
text
Info.
him. No, honestly, the reality is
Ketlin Vieira versus Norma.
Everybody's thinking about the gloves. How about you just think about the eyes? Protect the eyes. Put a fucking. You're telling me there's no look to swimming technology. First of all, whatever Olympic level swimming goggle Michael Phelps is using, you take that, but then you make it more form fitting and more hugging and let it hug the eyes and let it go there. So that way, guess what else it does? Maybe it does protect them a little bit. Okay, so it protects your orbital from getting fucking busted. Who gives a fuck? It's not going to help you not get knocked out. That's number one. It definitely won't lead to less knockouts. You know what I mean?
It's right here. Ready? It's the skydiving goggles, except instead of having it so hard, you
because you don't want it to have a risk of you don't want it to have a risk of breaking and going into the eye. That's
literally one of those see-through bags that they let you bring into football games. You know what I mean? Like that texture, just so you can't get poked. But I guess you could still get poked, kind of.
Yeah, but the problem is they're going to be like, what if they fog up? What if they get blood on them?
They have tech for that, dude. They have tech for that.
Yeah.
The
water blasting stations.
I mean, your hockey visor never gets blurry.
Yeah. And it's like, look, a little bit of blur.
Ski goggles don't get blurry when you're skiing.
That's the thing. It's like, just imagine a future 15 years from now where my son, your nephew, is sitting there with us and we go, back in our day, they didn't have the goggles. They hadn't figured out the eye poke thing yet.
Yeah.
And what do they want more than to be able to sell more product? It's like, you're not going to sell everybody a pair of gloves. You're not going to sell everybody a pair of lame ass fucking stupid looking shorts. You're definitely not going to sell them the stupid ass t-shirts that these fighters wear. So what do you sell them? You sell them the fucking goggles because hey, they're good enough for the UFC. They're good enough for your run. They're good enough for your swim. They're good enough for your workout. You know?
Fair enough. Now, I really have a burning question for you in regards to this. It's Ketlin Vieira is fighting Norma Dumont. Okay. Now, what do you think of that matchup?
Norm.
Big Norm. Yeah.
Norm. Auto bet. Don't even know what the odds are, but it's Norm.
She's only minus 155 as far as Tapology says.
Okay. Now we're talking. Now we're fucking talking. So whatever I lose on Ruiz, I will bet on Norm to win back if Ruiz loses.
All right. There you go.
You know what I mean?
First.
Actually, what I will do is this $100 bet on Carnelosi to win 300. If she wins, I go 300 immediately on Ruiz.
Okay.
If she loses, I go 500 on Ruiz because one of these lady underdogs is going to win, and it's not going to be Vieira, and it's probably going to be Ruiz.
Absolutely. Okay, so next
Scratch
up,
that. No, I'm kidding. Good.
Next up, we got Dante Johnson coming off the Contender Series to fight Cedriscus Dumas.
It's Dante Johnson for me.
You saw this guy fight?
No, but I've seen Cedric fight.
Well, this guy won a contract August 26th on what's it called? He knocked out Darian Abbey. Sounds like a TV show. Yeah, I mean, I just think, that this is going to be a tough one. This is a tough one to call. I know what you're saying. I hear you. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I think the Reaper has a good chance here. He's willing to allegedly go into houses and take what he wants, take what he needs. You don't think he's going to get a little crazy in there? You don't think he sees all the Cedriscus Dumas stuff or all the Cyril Gane stuff going on? I think Cedriscus Dumas can find a way here. I haven't seen Dante Johnson fight, but I do know that he's 5'8", and Cedriscus Dumas is going to come in there looking like a freak of nature, long as all hell, fighting against a short, stocky guy who prides himself on striking. Call me crazy, and guess what? This guy Deontay Moses Jr., who knocked out Dante Johnson, was 6'4". Dante Johnson's 5'8". Cedriscus Dumas is about 6'3", 6'2", I think. So 6'2", 79-inch reach. That's a 5-inch reach advantage. Give me Cedriscus Dumas. Rolling the dice here.
Yeah, I think Cedriscus Dumas is...
Terrell Beachcock brings up a great point.
No good. No good.
He beat up Cody Brundage, who finds a way to win. Crafty vet.
Like Wisconsin. Yep. The Contender Series is the best promotion, even better than the UFC. You win undefeated coming off the Contender Series, that's better than being undefeated in the UFC. Okay.
Cedriscus Dumas said, "Hold my beer. It only took me 47 seconds to get my job from the Contender Series."
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, what? So Reese kicked him in the nuts and he cried about it, and that was his last fight?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So
no
you're out here like thinking that
I said the Cyril Gane thing. I thought he might get inspired. He said, "Hold my beer. Been there, done that." Same thing with Dante Johnson's career.
All right. Okay, here's the fight you asked about, my friend. We're going to go back to Chadwick. He says, "Yo, who do you guys got in Timmy Kwamba versus Lee?" So here we go, buddy. I'm going to give you a really deep dive on this one. So on one hand, you look at Timothy Kwamba. He's 26 years old. Okay, 5'9", 71-inch reach. He is in the UFC, 1-2. Split decision loss to Blagioki. Decision loss to Lucas Almeida. Lucas Almeida, who, stinks. Mm-hmm. Roberto Romero, flying knee to ground strikes in his last fight. Chang Ho Lee. Ho Lee Chang. He beat Long Zhao by split decision. He beat Cortavius Ramius. I'm going with fucking Chang Ho Lee because I remember Cortavius Ramius was there to fight that night, and he was giving him all sorts of trouble, all sorts of back and forth, but he ultimately finished him in a fight that had a lot of, and that would have been like okay, here we go. He's coming to America now, finally getting a fight against a guy who's not from the Chinese regional scene. What's going to happen? And then he ends up whooping his ass. Now, Timothy Kwamba, honestly,
Luke, he is not Chinese. He is Korean, which means he had to do a mandatory military service. And,
but he fought people from the Chinese regionals. He was on the road to UFC, by way of China.
Road to UFC is Korean. It's Korean Zombies organization. Could try that.
It's not true. It's Chinese. Alex, come on.
Luke, you're wrong. You're
All
wrong.
Right, okay. Oh, it's the Korean Zombies promotion?
Yes. 100%.
Okay. Endeavor owns.
Yes.
It.
And the Korean Zombie runs it.
Okay, yeah. The Korean Zombie doesn't fucking own it.
He runs it. He's
like the host of it, Alex.
Yeah.
Doesn't fucking run it. Okay.
He runs it. No, he does the matchmaking. He does all that. He sources all the fighters. I watched.
Why is he not mentioned at all? Why is he not mentioned at all in what I'm reading?
Look up the Korean Zombies affiliation with Road to the UFC. He's a matchmaker or something. He works for them.
Yeah, it says the Korean Zombie. Okay, there's another one. There's a different one that's associated with the Korean Zombie.
Zombie Fight League. The ZFL.
It says the Road to UFC is a UFC property, but the mixed martial arts promotion associated with him is its own. It's a new promotion. I don't fucking know, man.
All right. I'm gonna go with Timmy Kwamba. And
it's called Zombie Fighting Night, yeah.
Timmy Kwamba's, going down to 135. I don't know if he's ever fought at 135 before. Let me check, but I think he's going to be the bigger, stronger guy in there as long as he has a healthy weight cut. I mean, Luke, he fought Balaji Aoki.
Just so you know, Road to UFC has held multiple events in Shanghai, China. It is a tournament-style competition where they win it, and it takes place in China, in Shanghai. Okay, just to let everybody know.
All right, if you say so. I'm not buying what you're selling. But Luke, Timmy Kwamba lost to Balaji Aoki at lightweight. He came in short notice on that, fought Lucas Almeida at featherweight, and now, he won against Romero.
The guy who lost to Sugar Sean.
Huh?
Lucas Almeida lost to Sugar Sean when he was but a boy, right?
No, that's a different guy.
Who am I thinking of?
Who's also, I think, named
Thomas Almeida. Thomas
Almeida.
So I always remember Sugar Sean going, Thomas. Like when I fought Thomas.
Give me Timmy Kwamba. He's coming all the way down. His first fight in the UFC against Aoki was at lightweight. He's been at 145. Hopefully he has a good weight cut going down to 135. He's going to be the bigger, stronger guy in there and take Chang Ho Lee out.
Guys, if you're trying to quit Zin, I recommend you got to have a lot of flair. Okay, so you see, I'm wearing a lot of flair. I'm wearing a lot of accessories, and I went to Target. I bought 70 packs of Pokemon cards so that I could just rip them open whenever I get that nicotine craving.
Just so everybody knows, Luke and I talked before the show. He says, yeah, this card sucks. I said, probably a good idea to kind of fly through our picks for this shit card and, deep dive into the Tom Aspinall stuff and the recap.
I got you your Ghastly. I'm putting this with your Hunter and your Gengar.
Now you're sitting here opening fucking Pokemon cards. We're not even.
Oh my God. Alex, you're going to be so excited. So we got you not only a full set, okay? Hunter, Gengar, Ghastly, okay? But you're going to love this. You're going to really love this. We got you a Mimikyu.
Beautiful.
Oh, look at that Mimikyu. That's cool and creepy, and it looks like Coraline and Nightmare Before Christmas. Look at this. Look at that Mimikyu. You see it?
Yep.
Let me make my screen a little bigger. Here we go. Oh, it's adorable. Alex, you're going to love that Mimikyu, and we're going to have this for you. And look, I'm going to throw in a Scream Tail. I'm going to throw in a Scream Tail to go with it.
Oh, well, there we go.
Ancient Screamtail. It looks kind of like a mix between like a Jigglypuff and a Meowth, but I don't know what this one is. But you're gonna love the Mimikyu. Oh my gosh, holographic Mimikyu, holographic Gengar, full set with the evolution set. Alex is getting this, guys. We're putting it back in the package for him. We're gonna mail it to him. So I'm gonna send him a Raven with these Pokemon cards for Alex. He's gonna love them.
Send them right to PSA.
PSA,
right.
You're getting this. I'm gonna send this in. I have an envelope right here. Got an envelope for you. I'm gonna send them right your way, Alex. You're gonna love these, my friend, my brother.
John Jones just commented.
Got it.
Sleep time. I agree, John Jones. John Jones, 12-6.
Okay, let's see. What do we say? Wait, Dumas will hit Dante in the nuts to get revenge. Yes, I like that. My eye pokes with sleep time. And then try making collecting a little more interesting. I like trying to collect shiny Pokemon cards. Try making collecting a little. I'll try.
No,
I'll try.
No. It's encouraged to not. Yeah, we know what you mean. The shiny version of the Pokemon. Yeah, of course. All right, Kevin Christian versus Billy O'Connor.
Honestly, this guy does Tyrell Beachcocks. He said I like trying to collect shiny Pokemon cards. Try to make collecting a little more interesting. He's trying to make collecting a little more interesting. He's not telling me to try making it more interesting. That would be so rude. But we do have one more pack we will open up before the end of the show.
No, we won't. Billy Elkanah versus Kevin Christian. I'm going with Billy Elkanah. Kevin Christian got knocked out on the regional scene. Billy Elkanah throws heat. Ham hawks. He had Bogdan Guskov on skates in that first round and then gassed out. He came in on short notice and went the full 15 minutes in his last fight. I like Billy Elkanah in this one. I think he dominates Kevin Christensen.
Billy Elkanah, I liked what I saw as well. And there's no reason why he shouldn't win this fight. He tries his best, and he goes out there. He gassed out in that fight. He took on short notice. Hey, could have happened to anybody. But I think there's just a lot of, after you saw what homeboy from Australia did.
Scala Kid.
Yes, Sala killed. You saw what Sala killed did. Now, it says Billy Elkanah is not from Australia. It says he's from America. But I don't see why that. I don't see why that. You know what, Alex? Kevin Christian, he's 6'7". He's 6'7", dude.
At 205?
I don't know what that means, but he is 6'7". So I'm going to go with Kevin Christensen, plus 180 underdog out of Brazil, 30 years old, coming in there to knock Billy Elkanah the fuck out. 3-inch reach advantage, 6'7", 4-inch height advantage. I'm going with Kevin Christian because why? Yeah.
Because he's 6'7", strictly.
Height and reach advantage. All things equal, height and reach advantage. I thought Billy O'Connor was Australian. He's not. That means that we have to go to height and reach. We have to look towards height and reach.
All right, fair enough.
Taking too long. Alan Nascimento versus Cody Dirt. Oh, sorry, you have to go. You have to pick this one.
Let me pick because I have to take a piss real quick. A quick Chris. Alan Nascimento versus Cody Durden. This is one that they're begging you to take Cody Durden. Cody Durden's going to look probably really sensational.
Wait. Who did you pick? Billy Elkanah?
Yes, I picked Billy Elkanah.
Yeah, and he's probably is going to win. Kevin Christian. He's Brazilian, but he looks a little bit like.
Pull up that Tyrell Beachcocks comment right there.
What is it? He looks like the Khaleesi.
The Great Khali. The Great Khali.
Yeah, and the other guy looks a little bit like Anshul Jubli. You know what I mean? Like he's just
yeah. So yeah, this is definitely one where I think the line makers are begging you to take Cody Durden. Cody Durden, one of the best 5-minute fighters ever, and then just has so much confidence that he ends up fucking himself up and getting himself knocked out and losing these fights. I love Cody Durden. I'm going to go with Alon Nascimento. The only fights he's lost have been really close. Cody Durden might be able to take him down, but I think Cody Durden's kind of fallen in love with his hands a little too much and getting himself into a lot of trouble. Give me Alon Nascimento, and I will be right back, Lukey Main.
Hey, Cody Durden's got his Red Wings, Alex. He's got his Red Wings. 2 losses on each side of a win. He's got Red Wings. Give me Cody Durden. You know what I mean? He's, at the end of the day, he's better than his record indicates, and he is from, the South. And I personally just think that having, given a listen to his interviews, things of this nature, watching his fight style, his mentality is such that Cody Durden has no self-preservation instincts. Coming off a knockout loss will not matter to him. It will not cause him to fight any differently. And I think that he will be more determined to win than ever, whereas Alon Nascimento, coming off a 3-fight win streak, will quit when the going gets tough. Cody will make the going tough, and he's going to probably sneak out a win here. I do agree with Alex and everything he says. I think I'm wrong, but I have to go this route because it says Cody Durden. His nickname, it says custom made. I don't think that Cody's nickname is custom made. That's definitely new. He must have written in to Tapology and been like, we're changing the nickname up, boys. But I'm going with Cody Durden. He's gonna just go out there and wilt Alon Nascimento. Alon Nascimento doesn't. Hungry dog runs faster. Hungry dog runs faster. Ain't it the truth? So next we got Carlos Radke versus Daniel Frunza. Charles Radke, Chuck Buffalo. Carlos Radke. I'm going to start calling him that now, though. He knocked out Semmelsberger, got knocked out by him a lot. Lost to Carlos Prates with that. Listen, like he's kind of reminding me of like just a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like just shut up and win or lose, but just get out. Be like enough with the jibber jabber. You know what I mean? I love him, but blood brother pride. Alex is my blood brother, and I have a lot of pride about that. Blood brother pride, baby. Respect brother heart.
Respect brother heart for sure.
If you know what respect brother heart is from, then you're a true fan of the show.
Not a true fan of this show.
Well, no, I mean, like then wow, like I'm glad we have you aboard. Respect brother heart. And then Charles Radke, blood brother pride. That's blood brother pride is our respect brother heart. It just flows off the tongue.
Is that what his tattoo on his chest says?
That's
I was like, where the fuck?
Blood brother pride.
Oh,
what does that mean? I just think of it like
a fucking high school football mantra.
Like ours
is like family pride win.
It makes no sense.
Makes no sense at all. I'll take Charles Radke here.
When I hear blood brother pride, I think of two guys cutting their finger and putting their fingers, like cutting their fingers and then like touching them and going like, now we're blood brothers. How
ironically,
and we go blood brother pride. Yeah, good. Touch your finger to the camera.
You've got respect brother heart and a guy from Romania, blood brother pride and a true respect brother heart.
Doop.
I'm gonna go with Chuck Buffalo here. You're getting doctor stopped by Reese McKee. You got issues. You got problems. Skeletor looking ass. Give me Chuck Buffalo.
Daniel Frunza fights out of Italy. Yeah, because I forgot we have Alessio Sakara and Marvin Vittori and quite literally no one else from Italy ever.
There you go.
People would say, "Oh, Luke, you're always talking about how India doesn't have any champs, and Japan has never had a UFC champ, and China has never had a male UFC champ." Don't worry, I'm Italian, so let me get around to Italy. Italy has never had a fucking UFC champ. The best Italy ever had was Rocky, and Rocky is fictional. Okay, listen, Rocky is entirely fictional. Okay. I'm trying to do Bill Maher. I keep slipping into Mr. Mackey. Very Marian. Listen, you people who think Rocky is real, he was from Philadelphia, first of all. He was Italian American, like Tony Soprano. You people.
Sweetheart.
It's fucking Radke, dude. Radke's gonna smash this guy.
Easily. I mean, next is going to be a tough one, especially if the judging is the same as it was this past weekend. I mean, we got Isaac Dalgarian versus Yadir Diwali. Sounds like a crooner.
Bro, we are blind betting Isaac Dalgarian here no matter what.
I think I have to, but like that judging last weekend was scary for a guy like Isaac Dalgarian. He already got robbed against
Yeah. Oh, wait. So
Christian
I'll tell you what. Cuba's pretty close to Jamaica. What's Jamaica have right now? The biggest hurricane ever to rock Jamaica is rocking Jamaica right now. Cuba's real close, so I guarantee they're experiencing some weather issues over there in Cuba. So you're telling me that Yadir Del Val, the Cuban problem, isn't going to come into the UFC and on his first fight get a win, and then look at Ari Emanuel and go, and guys, you know, everybody shout out to Cuba. And Ari goes, this was perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or it's
you know what I'm saying?
Or it's just like something that John Anik's going to bring up and bring down the entire mood of the broadcast during the fight, and this guy's still going to lose.
At the end of the day, Christian Rodriguez actually sucks. He lost to fucking Miguel Costa.
That was a robbery, though.
Dude, at the end of the day, Christian Rodriguez is good, and Isaac Dalgarian is good, but everybody's good, and I think you're right, man. I think you're right. I think this Cuban kid's going to come in here, and he's going to fucking win, dude. He's going to win. He's undefeated. He's going to win, and he's going to win. He's going to shout out the Hurricane.
Yeah. The only thing that you got to worry about is the judging on this one. I think Isaac Dalgarian is going to have a lot of control in this bout, but it just depends on how they score it. I'm going to go with Isaac Dalgarian myself, but Luke's going with Diwali. So that brings us into the next fight. Oh wow, we're actually not making terrible time here. It's Jeremiah Wells versus Themba Gorimbo. Personally, I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Wells. I think Themba Gorimbo is wait a minute, dude. You lose a split decision against Max Griffin, and you get anaconda jerked by Carlson Harris. You gotta think Themba. He's that's my impression of The Rock buying Themba Gorimbo a house. Themba, you need more mana. He got anacondaed by fucking Vicente Luque just a whole ass year ago. He hasn't even fought in a minute. Jeremiah Wells, I think he's had a similar layoff himself. Yeah, he hasn't fought in quite some time. Has been trying to get in there, but he's withdrawn twice. So who knows? This fight probably won't even happen. But I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Wells. He's crafty on the ground. I think Themba Gorimbo has 5 to 7.5 good minutes in him, and then he's kind of in the shitter. He's been winning a lot of fights by grappling lately himself. So I really think that I think Jeremiah Wells is going to be able to get this one done. Give me Jeremiah Wells. Next up, we've got I'm going to keep running through until Luke gets back. Next up, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Got called out for something real quick.
Jeremiah Wells versus Themba Gorimbo. Themba.
So you went with Dalgarian, though.
I went with Dalgarian for sure.
Yeah, I'm going with Wells. Wells by submission.
Wells by submission. Great call. That's kind of the same thing as me. Yeah. Next up, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Salsa Boy versus Ante Delija. Ante Delija, guys, trains with Mr.
Oh, that's cool. Did you see Tom eating the froyo?
Yes, he did not like the
Never had froyo before. And then they give it to me. He takes it, but he goes. Might as well have been a chicken in the rain. He was not excited about the froyo.
He did not enjoy it whatsoever.
In my mind, Abu Dhabi's all fucking froyo. It's all gimmicky little bullshit. Like, how many meals can I have in a day?
Dubai chocolate.
Like, right? Like, how many times? Like,
Abu
what
Dhabi
else?
chocolate, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere where, like, I don't want to go anywhere where I'm dependent upon what I'm eating the whole time to have a good time.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with Ante Delija here, walk in trouble. He's going to have the steam coming out of his ears after all this Tom Aspinall drama. Waldo Cortez Acosta is a guy who pokes people in the eyes. So who knows? They could just be like clandestine
Insane.
to lose eyes a week apart from each other, train together. That's pretty crazy. I'm going with Ante Delija. I think he wins this fight. I've never been impressed with Salsa Boy. He's a bit of a tippy tappy runaway, not really get into the fire. Give me Ante Delija.
Okay. Yeah, I go with Ante Delija as well, I think. I mean, he's a wrecking machine, right? Walking trouble, like they say, Croatian, like they say, 35, knocked out Marcin Tybura, but also has been knocked out, I mean, to me, Waldo Cortez Acosta, just like, look at his typology picture, like, he's got this look on his face, like, it's always just like, take it or leave it, you know what I mean? The nonchalance is truly, the nonchalance costs Cuban fighters. And I'm thinking about Yoel Romero. I'm thinking about lots of Cuban wrestlers. It's just a lot of nonchalance. It'll keep them protected. It'll keep them safe, keep them paid, and keep them contending. But I need to see Cuban fighters in the UFC with these great skills. I need to, and great heart and great chins and great athleticism and great flow and durability and even cardio. I mean, like, but go out there and take it and go out there and win it, and don't rely on judges' decisions, and don't make, you're like, you got to go and engage, you know what I mean? And I get it. It's a counter style in many cases, but you can set traps, lay traps, get them to bite, and then counter the bite, right? Like, you got to be able to, I don't know, bait the counter.
Yeah, couldn't agree more myself.
Win. It's fun. I want to see it. I want to see you win. I want to see a Cuban fighter go out there like Nick fucking Diaz. You know what I mean? Like fucking like doing that shit, like Nick Diaz shit. You know what I mean? Nick Diaz is the best Cuban fighter of all time, and he's like Mexican. Nah, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? Like he's got Nick. I don't know. I want to see more fighters like Nick Diaz.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I would love nothing more than a new breed of Nick Diaz coming.
Like, you can Nick was a counter striker. He was like, what? Like, he's doing all this shit to get you to start, and then he you know what I mean? Like, but he's like making it fun, and he's actually like advancing and smacking you in the face and calling you a bitch. It's hilarious,
Absolutely.
Imagine if Yoel Romero was doing that to you in the Izzy. Imagine
Terrifying.
if Yoel Romero fought like Nick Diaz when he fought Israel.
Terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying. Yoel Romero's like, what? Bah, 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 bah. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, yo, what the fuck? All right, get him away from me, And
Yeah.
he can take it. Yoel Romero gets kneed in the foot. Dude, when he fought Rob Whittaker, when he fought Paulo Costa, like, you can hit Yoel Romero with a Paulo Costa head kick. He will not go out. So what? We're supposed to fear Israel Adesanya? Like, no. Like, we could have taken the title from Izzy that night.
Yeah.
We didn't need to wait for Pereira and fucking. We could have.
The only guy who can knock Yoel Romero out is the Stolen Valor dude.
Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that was just more Cuban trickery. That was just more Cuban trickery, and he ended up winning that fight. Stolen Valor with a V. With a V.
The problem is these guys have to. Here's the difference. Tim Kennedy and everybody else, you all need to just double down and be like, for example, like, the strongest thing you can do isn't with your body, it's with your mind. So if Tim was like, no, I won, and I'm not fighting him, and I'm actually leaving because this whole thing is bullshit, and just walk out of the ring and be like, let me know how you guys sorted that out because y'all were in the wrong. He didn't, you know what I mean? Make it a whole thing. Be like, no, I'm not actually taking another step forward because you are fucking wrong. So
guys need to take their gloves off sooner. They need to just like, as soon as they get done, like Kyle Nelson last week, could have easily just took the gloves off. You're already celebrating. Just start taking the gloves off. They're already rolling. They're throwing some B-roll out there. They're putting your highlights up. They're gonna brush all this over.
And guess what, guys? Whatever you're getting paid to, like, let's say the worst happens, Kyle Nelson. Let's say you do that, and Mergliata, he triples down, and he says, "I'm declaring him the winner." Okay, you know what I mean? You just got, maybe you didn't get $50,000 in your win bonus, but you got $500,000 in free marketing. You know what I mean? So just like let everybody be like, did you see what happened in the Kyle Nelson versus Matt Favola? A fight nobody was giving two fucks about. You know
what do
I
you
mean?
think Dana White would say about that? Yeah, Dan stepped in before the round was over, so I completely understand why Kyle Nelson did that. Yeah, kind of a bonehead decision, probably, wait, but I would say Mergliata's in there looking at his shopping list, thinking about it, the laundry he has to do.
You don't need to symbolically necessarily even remove your gloves, but you could just say like, no, I know my rights and we'll figure this out in the courts, but I'm not like, it's kind of like when a cop thinks he has you, but then you end up going to the judge and you're like, see, you broke the law, you're fired, idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of same thing, right? But it's like, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to the protests, Tom should take it further. If I'm Tom, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up to everything like normal, right? And we're at the press conference, and it's not even press conference, it's media day. It's just me sitting here. I got a microphone. I'm waiting to be asked questions. All the media are there. They're gonna bring up. Surreal broke you in the eye. What are you gonna do differently this time? Like, if that happens, like, how do you plan on like fighting through? Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just asking nothing. Like,
my
they always do.
responsibility to.
But here's what I do. Here's what I do. We don't answer questions. We handle questions. So here's what I say. I go, I'll tell you right now. Everybody keeps asking me, about this fight. And if I'm fouled, again, the result will be the same. We'll go to a no contest. We'll go to a disqualification. But if you're asking me if I'm going to fight on, if he intends on fouling me, I can promise him the fight will end then and there. And that's the only response. Because then Cyril has to be like, well, fuck. Like, is he really going to be like a bitch about it? Like, if I foul him once, he's going to seriously like, you know what I mean? And if I'm Tom, I go, and guess what? Last time I really was blind, but this time, if he even comes close, I'm going to fucking say I'm blind. You know what I mean? And I'm going to fucking not continue because that's my prerogative. And I promise you, if he fouls me once, it's over. So he better fucking pay. And then all of a sudden, you've taken away everything. You've seized all his power. Now all of a sudden, you are in complete control of him. You're occupying space in his head rent-free. Because if you don't do that, Tom, if you do not do that, the opposite will happen to you. Because then Cyril gets to come into the next fight and do this. And then you have to go, now, all of a sudden, in a game of inches, he has taken mental energy from you and distracted it and made you think, is the ref paying attention? Instead of you thinking about what am I doing to my opponent, you're thinking, does the ref see what is happening, right? Boom! Now you're dead, Tom. So the only way that you can launch a counteroffensive is to come out and say, if Surreal even comes fucking close to my eyes, I promise you the fight will be over then and there. And he has only himself to blame. And there won't be a third fight. The UFC can do whatever the fuck they want. The judges can do whatever the fuck they want. I know the rules.
And I hope that those warnings from the first fight carry over. Because, like, you shouldn't have to get warned. You get warned in the back. You get warned 3 times during the fight. You end the fight because of the eye poke. If you even come close to Tom's eye, I want a fucking point deduction immediately. You kick him in the balls, maybe not immediately. Grab the fence.
Truly, we should just sit Cyril down with Brett Okamoto, right? And then you just show the video we've all seen where he is going into his eyes, not only when he's doing takedown attempts down here, but also when he's just going in his eyes all the time. And listen, I don't, and I truly want to make this very clear, and I don't want to hear it about it again. I don't give a fuck what happens when you're Thai boxing. I don't care about Thai boxing. I don't care about training or what is traditional. All I give a fuck about is if your fingers go in his eye. So if it's hilarious, right? Because Mighty Mouse or even like everybody feels the need to be like, well, I've trained Thai boxing, and let me explain. There's something where you are sort of doing this little wabi sabi. It's sort of like a wax on, a wax off. Yeah, we've all heard fucking Karate Kid, dude. They're like, everyone's like, have you ever heard of a wax on, wax off? It's like, yeah, dude, we've all heard of fucking wax on, wax off. Shut up. You know what I mean? But in the same breath that they tell you how sophisticated these guys are and everything is, they need the aerodynamics of the. In the same breath that they're telling you how like pinpoint everything is, they're telling you they can't possibly stop themselves from poking somebody in the eye. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Do these guys have total control and mastery of fucking their limbs, or are they unable to? Because like I promise you, Alex, you see me. I know you hate me. I know you hate me when I bring up the boxing ball. But at the end of the day, like I have a tennis ball attached to a fucking. And you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, I'm the best in the entire world at hitting the tennis ball attached to the elastic string. Like I can make that thing zig past my head. I can make that thing. I can hit it with an elbow. I can hit it with an elbow. I can hit it with a back elbow. I can kick it. I can knee it. I can elbow it. I can punch it. I can hit it with one hand 500 times. Hit it with another hand 500 times. I will never stop hitting it if I want to. I'll make it go wherever I want it. I'll front kick it. I'll do whatever I want to that ball. You know what I mean? I'm better than the guy who taught me about it, Lomachenko, and I'm much better than anybody you've ever seen use it. The point is, I can eye poke the ball. Like I will often be like, bop, 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 eye poke, bop, 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 eye poke, bop, 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 eye poke, eye poke, eye poke, eye poke, and I can eye poke it at will. I can put my fingers like this and go boop and just poke that tennis ball, which a tennis ball coming at me at full speed, it's way more difficult than hitting somebody in the eyeball, a stationary target that is soft, you know what I mean? And unexpected. Like hitting that tennis ball is so much harder than just like your fingers will naturally go into somebody's eyeball. Like it's a soft concave bowl. Like it'll glide into there. Like all you have to do is put them there and they will go in, you know?
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the main event. Steve Garcia versus David Onama. I'm gonna go with Steve Garcia. I think David Onama.
I didn't pick. I picked.
You picked Delide.
No, I didn't.
Delija.
Delia.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's smaller but more powerful. Will take more risks, and hits harder and won't get knocked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to land the more significant strikes of damage. And
he's going to do it for Tom.
Push the pace of the fight.
Why is Steve Garcia versus David Onama the main event? Is this the craziest main event we've ever had in the entire world?
No, you sent me those guys opening those mystery box of signed posters, and it was like Turbo Perez versus Mateus Nicolau.
All right, that is worse. I'd rather watch this fight than that fight for sure, but this is still more rando. At least those guys are in a shallow division. These guys are in 145. Like 145, you mean the division that is populated now by Volkanovski?
They're giving us slop, Luke. They owe ESPN a certain number of cards a year.
This is bottom of the
almost done. Saving all the good fighters for as soon as they get on that Paramount deal. One thing UFC does is when they strike up a new deal, they start off with a bang and they get everybody pumped up and excited for the new beginning of relationship with a company. And then once they're starting to look for another deal, they start to, hold back all their good fighters and then save them for the next one.
I'm just being a brat because quite honestly, like it'll be a very entertaining card.
All of these cards with nobody who don't know nothing about nobody.
This will honestly be one of the best like cards. Like it'll be sick, and we'll win money. So it's like 13 fights. Can't complain. The only reason we're all complaining is it's just like, man, like we really didn't get that, like, dude, when that fight started, I was like, yo, we are in for a treat. Like this is
it was awesome. It was tip for
know?
tat. They were both going back and forth. It
was
was like it's gonna be a war.
I was like, yo, Tom could submit him and Cyril could knock him out. I was like, I'm on both sides of what could happen, and like I'm gonna win money no matter what. And it definitely, I'm like, and even if it does, like I was already in the black. I was already making money. It was like, this is a great night.
It was a fun watch for what it was worth.
And it ends like that. And honestly, I watched the whole video of Tom, dude. So you gotta watch the one I sent you, which is
I'm going to
the fight. So like, not only is it like you see the weird vibes, but let me tell you this: as soon as Tom Aspinall walked out of his locker room to walk to the fight, one of the more critical moments where even his coach and his coaches are like saying little affirmations to him to keep him focused and like on task at hand. He walks out the door. Some little 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old boy just comes up to him and is like, can I get a picture? And like it starts like Tom's even kind of like, what? And he's like a little boy in one of these like little prince garbs, So like obviously Tom's like, well, I'm in a foreign country and like this place is owned by these sheiks, and like there's one of maybe their kids that is like somehow here, and maybe I did agree to this, I don't know, but like sure, let me get a picture with this little kid as I'm like leaving my locker room to go fight in the main event. And the kid is like filming and following him and like just throwing off the vibes for the first 20 feet of him walking out of his locker room, to the point where one of the UFC employees had to rush up and grab him and be like, yo, get him, like get away from him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if that happened, I'm just saying, like, yo, like, just imagine all the little ways they can. And Diego Sanchez's coach, Josh Fabia, he said, like, they will do little things to wear on you and to like lean on you and to just suck your energy. Like, if they don't want you to win, like they'll like, you know what I mean? And if they want you to win, they will do the opposite of that, which is to make life easier. And I'm not saying that you can't overcome it. Like, you put Diaz against fucking McGregor on 9 days notice. Some guys are just built different. And they will come in and just fucking, they'll come in and it'll just upset the apple cart.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
You gotta be like that, One of my favorite quotes: on my best day, I can beat anybody. On my worst day, I can beat anybody. Anyway.
I think.
No, I just said it.
All right. Well, Steve Garcia versus David Onama. I'm going with David Onama. I'm going with Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is there for a battle. He's on a 5-6 fight knockout streak. No, he didn't get a knockout in his last one against Calvin Kattar. Give me Steve Garcia. I think he's a better fighter. I think that David Onama is another one of these gassers. He's been using a lot of wrestling lately. I think Steve Garcia is there to party. I think he's going to get this one done.
Yeah, this is a crazy fight. I mean, at the end of the day, you got two guys. One guy in Steve Garcia who is clearly overachieved, right, in most people's minds. And then you got David Onama, who I would say, relative to the hype, I mean, you've seen him in some of the biggest lines, in UFC history, some of them, right? And he lost to Nate Landwehr, right?
Mm-hmm.
No?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting that they are.
That was that fucking epic post-fight interview where he's like, "Nate the Train, baby, don't stop, Tennessee, yeah."
All right. Here's a perfect example, right? So let's look at Steve Garcia historic lines. Steve Garcia versus Cody Williams. Let's go to his first Contender Series fight. Underdog in the Contender Series. Okay. Then comes in against Charlie Ontiveros. Okay, so he's a favorite against Ontiveros back in 2021. He's a favorite against Mahashate and he fucking loses, right? And I remember we like called that out. Like that was 2022. We were like, they're not sending Steve to China to lose to fucking or to win against Mahashate. Why is he a favorite? So, we take Mahashate. Then from then on, he's an underdog against Chase Hooper. He's an underdog against Nerdon-Becky. He's an underdog against Costa. And I'm talking plus 150, or he finished at plus 275 against Hooper, plus 250 against Nerdon-Becky, plus 225 against Costa. Finally, minus 138 against Sungwoo Choi, minus 150 against Kyle Nelson, minus 150 against Calvin Kattar. Now he's minus 150 against David Onama. Dude, I got to piss so
15.
bad. Hold on.
Minus 115.
I opened at minus 150. Dude, I'll be back in literally like less than 5 seconds. Hold on.
All right, go. All right. So, yeah, going with Steve Garcia. I think he's going to be there for the whole time. This episode's dragging on. This episode's dragging on. Nobody bring up a fucking eye poke again in the comments. I can't sit through another fucking 15-minute soliloquy about eye pokes. Let's get through this last fight, list out the picks, and call it a night. This has been a while.
So I love you. We got this last fight. I mean, I'm gonna go with David Onama.
Okay, sweet. For what reason? Maybe
he's just more athletic, and the value's better on him. At the end of the day, Steve Garcia is living a Cinderella story.
All right. Well, love to see it. My picks are Steve Garcia, Ante Delija, Jeremiah Wells, Isaac Dulgarian, Charlie Radke, Alan Nascimento, Billy Elkanah, Timmy Kawamba, Cedriscus Dumas.
You're going too fast. Stop. Hold on. Stop for 1 second. You said Nascimento.
Of course.
Billy Elkanah.
Yes. Kawamba.
Okay, I think we're good now.
Cedriscus Dumas, Norma Duman, Kanejo Rojo, Kaneo Ruiz, Phil Rowe, and Talita Alencar.
Okay, if you're going with me, we're going with Ariane Carnelosi. We're going with Phil Rowe. We're going with Conejo, Montserrat, Conejo Ruiz, Norma Dumont, Dante Johnson, DJ, Dante Johnson, Shang Ho Lee, Kevin Christensen, Psych. We'll go with Billy Elkanah. I'll double piece her fight with Alex. Cody Durden, because he doesn't care, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got his 2 Red Wings. He's gonna go out there and get a win. Charles Radke, Del Fally, the Cuban, Jeremiah Wells, Ante Delija, and David Onama. But what I was going to say about that fight was just that Steve Garcia is obviously a workman. Steve Garcia is obviously the better minute winner, the better 5-round, 3-round, cardio, damage absorber, well-rounded guy. David Onama is the moment winner, but he's just so fast and so powerful. He's going to catch Steve and hurt him, and I think he's going to finish him.
Nah, he's been wrestling a ton lately. He doesn't even strike anymore. Ever since he blew his load on Nate Lamware, he's just been holding people up against the fence, listening to James Krause.
Well, double P certified picks are going to be Ante Delija, Jeremiah Wells, Charles Radke, Billy Elkanah, and Norma Dumont, and Montserrat Conejo Ruiz, and Phil Rowe. All
right. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is...
I think we're right on time, like 2 hours. Plenty of... I thought it was going to be about 2 hours, You said we had a lot to talk about. We were supposed to run through the card, but it's 13 fights. How are we going to run through it? Like, it's harder to do the card when you don't give a fuck about half the fights, because you're like, I got to find something to care about with these. Whereas if it's a great card, you just go, yeah, I love this guy. He's going to win. Here's why. It's easy. It's like, oh, why is Conejo Ruiz going to fucking win as a +3 underdog? I don't know, because it don't make sense. Chewbacca is a Wookiee from Kashyyyk. Okay.
Very true. What's he doing hanging out with all these Ewoks?
It's along with what's he doing hanging out with these little Ewoks on planet Endor? It don't make sense. Chewbacca is a Wookiee.
There you go. You heard it here first. Those are the picks for the card. I hope everybody has some good luck. Cover your eyes, cover your ass, and hopefully you win some bets this weekend, as long as they don't contradict what I say.
Love you, buddy. Okay, thank you, everybody. We love you, and we'll see you later. I mean, it's been a terrible card, and I'm going to delete this video.
In this episode, dude. I don't...
I feel like a national bozy bear.
We love you. Goodbye, and good luck. And as far as the Discord goes, get in there and talk to us this weekend. Otherwise, I'm shutting it down. All right, goodbye.